Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Valpo Esports. Today we have our NECC match for Overwatch. Their Beacon team is who are we playing today?
We're playing AState, so
Ooh,
it's pretty looking forward to it. So it's gonna be a good time. The Red Wolves, what they go by. So
ooh,
real
fancy,
fierce
fancy.
name, yeah. My name is Jang. I'm gonna be casting tonight, and we got.
I am Cheetah Quick 9 or CQ9, and you probably have not seen me on the Overwatch side because this is my first time casting. But if you guys watch Smash as well, if you guys watch our other streams, you will have seen me quite often. I am actually on our Smash team here, but I also participate on our Overwatch club team, so I do know the game a little bit.
That's right. So we have a lot of fun on the club team. Thankfully, it is our week off, so we're able to relax. But some of us decided to come in and help cast, and here we are right now, casting Beacon.
Yep. So we are just waiting for our match to begin a little bit, just some communication between the teams, get everything ready.
Absolutely. And so it looks like our starting lineup for Valpo Beacon is going to be have Little Flaps on tank, Scoot and Sky Kirby on the DPS, and then Orem Corvus and Kuru Kuki is going to be on support. We are told that if we don't say Kuru Kuki correctly, which I don't think I did just there, we're supposed to call him Kuki.
Yep, you,
So,
you probably didn't, so we're probably going to hear from him later.
yep, we're going to hear from, but it's going to be Kuki for a little
Yep.
bit for night. Looks like the first ban is going to be banning Ilios on control. Just a pretty standard map for banning. It's very specific for certain characters. Something Valpo Beacon doesn't need in its. We're the ones that ban it, so it totally makes sense why I just don't see Beacon play it often.
Yep. Ilios is quite a polarizing map. It can be quite difficult for certain comps to make, and if we don't want to play those comps, might as well just ban it. If it isn't good for us, we get the ban. So
There
I
you
do
go.
like that pick for the heroes that we want to play. I actually haven't watched too much Overwatch Beacon Team myself, so I'm actually also coming into this a little blind. I don't know too much about the heroes everyone plays besides what I see walking past in the lounge. So this will be a little treat for you, for me, as well as you guys of what's about to go down.
Absolutely, should be exciting. It looks like I can't get it confirmed, but it looks like we're gonna have Oasis as the first map choice, and that's a great map. You got some good verticality with it, but
Mhm.
also May is going to be really good here. Ramatra is going to be really good here. A brawl map for sure.
Exactly. I mean, it is a control map, so it is going to be on that point, on that singular control point. But Oasis by itself, kind of a little more contained, besides from the verticality of it. So those brawl comps that you mentioned, May, Ram, and stuff like even Ryan can work quite well here, just because you're so close together.
Absolutely. That being said, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a wild card. If Beacon's going a little unfavorably, we might see Little Flaps pull out the Diva. That might be something exciting to see. As well as Scoot, he might go Hanzo or an Ash even here. It's a little odd for sure, but something I could see on this map.
I mean, those aren't even bad picks for this either, because as we talked about, Oasis has so much verticality. Diva being a tank that can control that high ground so well, and then Hanzo and Ash both really like the high ground. Hanzo being able to get to it easily with wall climb, and then Ash coach gun, so they don't even need the jump pad all the time, and they really benefit from high ground there. So those picks actually are definitely not out of the ordinary there.
Absolutely. And it looks like we're going to be heading in there very soon. Entering
Does look
game.
like it. Entering game. Oh,
All right, let's go take a look.
gonna get to see some gameplay now. Ayo. All right, so getting in here. This is our first point here. Not as open as like the later ones, which definitely can be an advantageous thing if you want to play your brawl comps here. This is definitely one of the versions of Oasis that is very good for brawl comps, just because you are so confined to that area. And once you get to the point once, this point is very difficult to retake without using any ultimates or anything. So I can definitely see a brawl comp coming out very easily.
Absolutely, and you could see that vertical through the pause kind of blur. You could see
Hmm.
the platform right above, and that's just where you're gonna see some like damn DPS up there, or even a diva. That's gonna be the verticality that we've been talking about this
Hmm.
for these maps.
Yeah, Diva can definitely be a really good pick here, being able to cycle in between that high ground and low ground very easily. And I mean, there's that high ground up there for the DPS, but sometimes it can be hard to see down onto the point on that high ground. But if you see, there's also some side, kind of middle ground, just slightly above the point off to the side, which is a little more um, distance from the point, so that can be very good for your DPS to stand on as well. So we're probably going to see quite a lot of side angles coming in here because you have your main, got your main, have your main come down main. right down the staircase, which kind of makes a choke point. A lot of choke points on this point coming into the actual point. So brawl comps are going to be really good. Just have them come to you, especially once you have the point captured. It's going to be very hard to retake.
Oh, absolutely. And for our viewers that are a little confused or concerned about why the game's paused, it looks like one of the opponents has had their power surge kind of, or the power bank protector
Hmm.
apparently just decided to stop working on them. So their PC inherently just cut out.
Ayy.
So they're going to go to a new computer in their lab, is what it sounds like. So we're just waiting on that to happen. And that's why we're paused right now. Great timing, I'd say. Better to have it at the start
Yeah.
before anything
Oh,
happens, where
definitely.
then you're in the fight. Because then it's just harder to determine, well, what would have happened if that didn't happen.
Exactly. Definitely better that it happens here. I mean, even if it wasn't going to happen in the middle of a fight or anything, just having it happen in between games just can really mess up your mojo. Like if you're already used to one computer, it could be just slightly different. Like maybe the new computer has a different mouse or something. So definitely better just to get it out of the way at the beginning, so you can just keep the mojo, keep the momentum there. It's better that happens here.
And I remember when we had a club game, we were playing against a very difficult team, and we were on the verge of beating them at a point when one of them left, and
Hmm.
they left within 5 seconds of us actually winning the whole thing, and I was terrified that
Yeah.
they were going to request to run that back because they had a player gone and they don't know what to do. Thankfully, they were super understanding. They let us take the W without any concerns, and that felt really good. But when a person leaves the game in these competitions in NECC, it's taken very seriously, and you want to be
Yeah.
very careful when it happens.
You do want to be very careful, though. Luckily, we don't have that problem of, oh, do we have to rerun it since we haven't run it yet anyway? So
Yeah,
better that it happens in the beginning. Yeah.
absolutely. Couldn't agree more. So it's likely to happen that we'll back out of this game in order for him to go back in, but that's going to take seconds.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, usually for NECC rules, as far as they go, each team is allowed a 5-minute technical difficulties break, and so this happening is kind of It's allocated into the
Yeah,
rules.
it's accounted for. So
It's
this
accounted for.
isn't anything that is completely new or unseen before. This is just something that happens with esports. Sometimes just things happen in the real world. Not everything is completely online. So sometimes you just got to deal with what's in real life.
Absolutely. And it is cool to see how supportive the Valpo Beacons are being during this process. They're not being upset. They're not being really messed up people about it. They're encouraging. They're enjoying the conversation with their opponents in the chat, and they're having
Yeah.
a good time.
Yeah, I mean, we all have had the same experiences, right? Like we all play the same game, we all compete in the same game, so it's not again, it's not unseen for any of us. So just being understanding about it is really good. The process is going to happen anyway, so just being nice and understanding about it just makes the whole air around the lobby, around the game just so much better.
Oh, totally. Looks like the player just joined, and so that's good to know. So we should be starting very soon.
We should be getting soon. I mean, even if they haven't restarted their lobby, it shouldn't be
Oh
very
yeah,
long anyway.
restarting the
So,
lobby would take seconds. I have to
yep.
restart the lobby quite a bit on club team because I don't know what I'm doing.
Shh, don't tell them that. You totally know
I
exactly what's
I know
going on.
exactly what I'm doing every single
Exactly.
time.
You know exactly what's going on. Every button press.
Oh yeah, every single one.
Yep.
Having a spec the wrong team, no worries, totally got it.
Shh, nah.
Looks like the pause is undone, and we are back. So that's the verticality we were seeing, and then
Yep.
there's also this kind of alley space,
Yeah,
this
this
tight
kind of mid
area,
ground here.
and that is where we want to see May really doing her work with her walls and her freezing abilities. So that's really cool to see.
Hmm.
We do have heavy brawl on Beacon, and then some more wild card looking stuff from the opposing team. They got Ball, Ash, Hana,
Ooh.
May, Mercy, not May. Excuse me. That's very intense. But instead of the May
They're
that I
both
was expecting, we
scientists.
got the Reaper on Sky Kirby. Happy surprise. I'm glad to see that. And we got Mr. Cookie is going to be playing Lucio to boost them in. So let's see. There we go.
Yeah,
There's
so
the button I
I
wanted.
mean, as you were talking about, looking like very brawly comp coming out from Beacon. We got the Ram, we got the Reaper. Kiriko is just very good right now in general, and Lucio is also notoriously very good in brawl comps, being able to speed the team in and engage really quickly, just get everyone in there, especially paired with Lucio with the Reaper. Going to be very good getting Reaper in very close, but we see Beacon going for this high ground right away, just trying to take control of it, and um, the Red Wolves not really being able to contest the high ground, so really kind of trying to fight from the choke points down mid.
Ball doing a good job displacing it while surviving, but might have gone in too deep there. No, doing okay. The Ana doing a great job supporting her. Or him, excuse me. Ball is the guy. Beautiful sleep by the opposing Ana.
Yep, so nice sleep there, but does look like they did get the first pick here. Their Cassidy did pick off the Kiriko, so we are one player down here, and that makes it two.
Ball coming in right at the last second to prevent the capture, but it wasn't enough to fully capture it, so Valpo Beacon will start the capture.
Yeah, Valpo Beacon did get the point, but not for very long. Flips right back over to the Red Wolves here. Just trying to regroup here to be able to come in, but looks like they might be having a bit of a flank here. I saw the ball kind of rolling around. Oh, there he is.
Yeah. And little flaps. Let me find it. There he goes.
There we go.
Little flaps switching off ram for Arissa. Arissa's a much better operator for Ball because of stuff like that.
Yep,
Uses his hook, uses his shift. Ball ain't going anywhere.
Yep, I love that pick. Just swapping immediately to counter their ball. I mean, we already saw it right then. Is just the spear and then the spinny spear as well is very good at controlling Ball's movement, just trying to halt him from getting around. Since Ball is such a hyper-mobile tank that relies a lot on his cooldowns, being able to block those. A nice use of the javelin spin to just block Bob from getting into the middle of their team.
Taking him out with it.
Yeah, but Orisa does fall here, but so not looking great for Valpo Beacon trying to take this fight without their tank. So
it's not
out
often that in this skill level you play against a Ball player, especially one that is doing as effectively as this is with the displacement, the survivability. It's nice to see in a gameplay sense, but it is difficult for Valpo Beacon right now. It is no doubt.
Definitely, but now Sky Kirby getting close to him, that is going to be very dangerous for a Ball. I mean, Reaper is notoriously the tank buster, and Ball just being in his face is going to do a ton of damage to him, but looks like we have two picks coming in.
Yeah, absolutely. Make that one from the res, but the Mercy got countered, so that's beautiful.
Mercy did sacrifice herself for that res, so they are down a support, but they have their Ball back, which can be quite dangerous depending on how much work this Ball gets done.
And Valpo Beacon will recapture before it turns 90%, which is nice to see.
Yep, that is nice to see, but getting close to, I mean, if Red Wolves retake this point, it's going to be quite dangerous. You're going to be getting close into last fight
Ball
territory.
might have gone in hot there. Had to get out of there.
But we are one pick up. Scoot taking out their Cassidy with our own, trying to cancel the res with the spinny spear, but does run in and pop Terra Surge. Gets one kill, going after the Ana. Picks up the Mega beforehand. Kiriko TP's in.
Ooh, beautiful
nice kill.
Javelin. Looks like Valpo Beacon will win this fight as well.
Yep,
oh, Ana getting another sleep, but not enough value to matter.
Nice stacker there. That was quite a delayed kill in the Ana.
Absolutely. Let's see if they can get a delayed kill on the Ash here.
Looks like he might.
Yeah.
Yep, Javelin spin to keep him in. Almost gets the ball too. Nice delays here. Gonna get a lot more percentage, the ticks on the point just for that. Being able to hold and keep the fights away from the point gives them a lot better of a chance here. Keeps them at that choke point, which is so dangerous.
I just gotta say, I love that rhyme of yours. Javelin spin to keep him in.
Hey, you know, if it works, it works.
Absolutely. What a fun little thing to say.
And if it sounds fun too, hey, it's just an added bonus.
All the more wow. See Ana in the back there. Will she get to sleep? Not quite.
Yeah, but we see what we were talking about before this match, of that how difficult this point is to retake, just because of these choke points here. A lot of ults coming in from Red Wolves, trying to keep this from going to 99%, getting close to last fight here. They are down a few picks though. This fight is getting very dangerous for them.
Sky Kirby's been holding on to his Blossom for quite a bit, I think.
Yeah, it's pretty much just the ball here now, trying to stall out for their team to get back. It is at 99%.
Ooh,
Spears him
that's
off.
A dead ball.
Awesome javelin throw.
Look at that. What a surprising twist for Valpo Beacon.
Yep, they did lose the point at the very first fight right at the beginning, but turning it around and just winning the point.
Yeah,
very nice, very nice.
Exciting stuff to see. And that's what I love about Valpo Beacon. They can take the situation. They can have a rough time with it for sure, but they're able to compromise and they're able to work with what they have, what they can add to, what they can change, and really make it happen. And so Arissa was definitely the right pick to switch to. And then Scoot, I feel like, got a lot of picks there as well. And then the supports just holding on Beacon, keeping them alive.
Yep, so we did see the swap from Ram to Orisa to deal with the ball a lot better, which was a really good swap to see. Immediately recognizing that that was a problem that needed fixing, but here we see another swap coming in. We see Kuki actually switching to the BAP instead of the Lucio, trying to utilize that high ground we were talking about. As this is the map with the launch pad, has a ton of high ground that you can use, including the high ground right in the center of the point. So BAP being able to access that at any time using his passive, just really good swaps here, as don't need speed boost a lot of the times on this point specifically, as you're going to be taking fights like this.
Ooh,
Ooh,
disgusting.
that was nice. Well, nice for us, not very nice for the Ram.
And that's in my book that's okay. In my book
Yep.
that's okay. Ooh, good little javelin on the Mercy there.
The javelin throws coming in have been so clean, has missed only a few.
Ooh,
Ooh,
man, he really didn't have to do it to her, but he did anyway.
the
You'll have to
javelin
see.
throws, they've been so good.
They've been better. They've been on point.
Yeah, this Orisa has been doing so much work. This swap to Orisa has been working so well.
Ramatra here trying a little bit aggressive with only one on us for supports, but seems to be doing well. Same with Little Flaps. The supports are healing them really strongly here. Neither is going down too quickly.
And then you can't see him from here, but Bath is actually using the high ground behind. We saw when they were flipping around, but he's actually using that high ground. Look how far away he is from the fight. He is not in danger at all, but he is able to use the ranged capabilities of Bab's healing. Oh, very low on the Orisa here, but getting healed up by Kiriko.
Ooh, that's an anti. That can
It's
kill.
anti, and cleanse has been used, so gonna have to live through
yeah.
this.
There we go. No more supports.
Does live through it. Lives to see another fight.
Absolutely. And all that healing that he got there just boosts the ultimates. So we
Yep.
have 3 ultimates on the Beacon and 3 ultimates on the Red Wolves. Who do you think will use them first?
I feel like it will probably be the Red Wolves trying to aggress onto Beacon, as Beacon
And
does
there's
have
one
the
ult
point.
there.
And there is the Ram ult. And, I mean, looking at the ult economy, it's pretty even. Almost every ult online for each team, aside from the Ramatra ult that was just used. But Sky Kirby does go down and uses the Kitsune Rush to try to balance it out, try to compensate for the lack of Skyjay in the fight.
I'm nervous about that Bastion. Bastion can be quite a powerful pick in the right hands of an opponent.
Especially with this Orisa. Orisa doesn't have any form of barrier or anything to really defend her team from Bastion. And even with her Fortify, she can get burned down pretty quickly by Bastion, especially with the Mercy damage boost.
Valpo Beacon taking the first control point all the way to 99, now has to win 1 team kill to secure the victory.
Yep. And now looking at it, they have 4 ultimates available. They only have to win 1 fight to get this point. So
Let's not forget the Red Wolves also have 4 ultimates available.
That
so
is
the
true.
first pick is important here.
Oh, did spot the Bastion, but unable to really focus him. His team was defending him quite well.
Smart decision not to go in there alone.
Yep. Scoot does fall to the Bastion turret form down mid, so is a player down here almost trying to focus down the Ram, but block has a huge damage reduction. If I recall correctly, it's 80% damage reduction, so having that combined with a Mercy on a healing, you're not going to burn through that very easily.
No, not at all. We have this Bastion really kind of holding the left trick.
Yep,
left
and
click
there's
on
Nano Boost. A
dealing the
lot of
damage.
ults coming out. Oh, Sky Kirby with the Death Blossom gets a lot of kills, along with the Deadeye from Scoot. That is the
That is
team
a team
kill.
kill, and that
So
should
that
be
is the
it.
point. That's the point. There's no way they can touch here. That was a team kill.
No, look
Yep.
at that.
Nicely played. Good ult usage as well. I really like to see that. Just knowing that they only had to win 1 fight. So all they had to do was get a little bit of advantage, a little bit of positional advantage there, and just positional advantage as well as just 1 player up. All they needed was 1 pick, and they could just go in with their ults and just take the game.
So this is the end of game Reaper ult. And look at that. Look at the damage he dealt. He got
Yep.
2 on Blossom, 1 headshot on, and then the May.
Yep.
Mercy, holy cow, that's not May at all.
They're both
All right.
scientists, but they're different kinds.
Different kinds of
They're different kinds of scientists. They're not the same.
All right, well, beautiful stuff to see from Valpo
Yep.
nonetheless.
So we are up 1-0. So it is a first to 3. So
Yes,
we
yes,
still
it
have
is.
at least 2 more games to see. And I am trying to recall the order, but I do not recall off the top of my head.
I don't recall either, and that's okay.
I
They
literally,
do ban Paraiso. A big shocker there.
yep.
Paraiso is one of the newer maps, therefore one of the less known maps. Uh, and it's honestly there's better maps. There's like
Yep.
Kings Row, Blizzard World.
hmm
There's just amazing maps there.
And then we were talking about we didn't know the order. Well, Parisio is a hybrid map, so
That's
now
true.
we do know that
That's
we are
true.
going
Now,
into
now we
hybrid.
know we're going
So
into hybrid.
yep, we are going to hybrid. Yeah,
Yeah.
Parisio being a hybrid map, Lucio's map.
Oh yeah.
So hybrid, for those who don't know, is it's similar to the game mode we just played in it has a singular control point. However, once you capture that control point, well, if you capture that control point, it then turns into a escort payload map. So you have your first control point, and then the next 2 points are on escort. Is how hybrid generally works. So they did ban Parisio, and it looks like they are also making some swaps.
Yeah, they're swapping the team a little bit. They're putting in a new kind of rotation, and that's going to be exciting to see. You know, whenever we swap on Beacon or on Club, it always is to do something different,
hmm
and so you wonder what kind of different thing they're trying to do here. I do encourage them trying something different because at the beginning, you know, they were doing really well in Oasis. They were kind of scaring the Beacon a little bit, but not towards that end. That was Beacon's fight that second
hmm
map.
Yeah, that first map was a lot closer. It was, I believe it was like 86 or something percent. So
Yeah.
they did get pretty close, but that second point was also a little bit more dominant from Beacon. Still definitely put up a fight. Like, don't get me wrong, they still definitely played well, but a little bit more of a dominant showing for Beacon. So swapping things up, trying to mix up the synergy there, definitely not a bad play. I like it.
Absolutely. So it looks like we're going to Kings Row. Kings Row is probably one of Beacon's favorite rows. Most players do love this map,
Yeah,
anyways.
King's
It,
Row is generally a really loved map.
it is an extremely brawl-heavy map. Lots of tight corners, lots of high walls, and so operators that are or characters that are able to fly really high and shoot down or shoot from afar, or
hmm
even Hanzo with his ultimate being a dragon that can go through walls and kind of like as a consistent damage,
hmm
super powerful.
Yeah, especially on that streets phase, Hanzo Dragon is very good. But I mean, King's Row is I think it's King's Row is really liked by a lot of players because you can actually do a lot of different like comp styles on it. You can do brawl comps very easily on it, but you could also do a little bit more like turtle comps, a little bit more defensive. You can do a lot of stuff on it, so I can definitely see why people like it. It's fun. I do enjoy that you can play a lot of different heroes in King's Row. So
Absolutely. I love that the sniping ability, just kind of
yeah,
shooting from afar, getting those picks if you can.
yep.
They're entering now, so let's go in, tune in.
But the thing is, that also is going to make it a little bit more challenging here, since we were talking about all the different heroes that are actually can work very well, all the different comps. As you're talking about, snipers can work very well, brawl can work very well, a little more bunker can work really well. So you can't really predict what they're going to play very easily. So we could definitely see a
Absolutely.
lot of different matchups here.
I
Um,
completely agree. And then just so we all know, because this is hybrid, where that puddle is located in the center by that black car is going to be where the first control point is, where they try to
yep,
stay in that area to control the area. And then they will move a vehicle down this road and through the city, and there's a little line to represent it. And it's super tall buildings and the tight corners make it really difficult and dangerous for certain characters. So you
yep,
don't really want to be caught in a bad angle. That being said, there's verticality up here where you're able to get some high ground, kind of shoot down, look through the doorways, and kind of see where the objective is, and really take advantage of that height. There's also
exactly.
height over here, and it's just incredible stuff to see. And
Yep. There's a lot of off angles, a lot of high ground you can take advantage of on Kings Row, which is why a lot of people like it. There's a lot of different ways to play, and looks like they are running the Rhine, it looks like.
yeah, I wonder if they're gonna do the Rhine up top strategy,
It looks
the
like they are, as they do have
famous
a
one.
Widow sitting here. Try not to say it too loud in case they're listening, but
Let's see, where's the Widow? There he is.
yep, there's Widow.
Oh, we missed it just barely.
Nice,
That's
nice,
okay. We'll
nice.
see some more, I'm sure.
Ooh, just
Ooh,
ooh,
good headshot.
just barely not enough charge on Widow's scope there. Oh my word. I love the pick for the Widow here since as we are attacking first, if we didn't mention it before, this high ground can be utilized by Widow very easily, and now they get kind of
Ooh,
separated here.
beautiful hit there. And let's not forget, that Widow got value at the very beginning.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, we weren't able to see it right away.
Yep.
But
That is one of the benefits of playing Widow there is that high window on the spawn point can actually see down to where a lot of teams like to hold. So if they aren't expecting it or you just get a good shot out of the window, you're in for an immediate, really strong advantage of a player up right at the first fight. And Beacon did manage to get that shot, so able to take advantage of that. But a lot of damage coming into the Ryan and does go down.
and a big advantage to the beginning attack with Widows. Let's say your Widow player gets not killed first. You're right there at the spawn. Where if you get a pick, they have to walk like seconds, like so much farther. So it's incredible to see. Like you always will have the advantage on attacking there at the very beginning. So
Yeah,
even if you trade, it's worth it.
Exactly, and that is the advantage of being on attack, is that your spawn point's going to be a lot closer, so trades will be in your favor a little bit harder. So we didn't actually see that this game. We didn't see the trade. We just saw the Widow get immediate value.
We just saw the benefit.
Yeah, immediate value. Nice Wraith form to dodge the Shatter. Doesn't get anyone, actually.
It's very good stuff there on Beacon's side, avoiding that Shatter.
Yeah,
Han's on the right. Is he red? Yes, he is.
But on the Ryan versus Ryan matchup, knowing your Shatter and being able to play those mind games are very important. People love the Ryan v Ryan matchup just for that. It is a lot more of a mental-based Ditto. 1v1 there. So now that Little Flaps here knows that their Ryan does not have Shatter, he's now going to be trying to search for his. But
Absolutely. Since
they are playing the same hero, they're both going to know that they have their Ryan should know that our Ryan has Shatter, just based on they've already had theirs. So you can see the amount of layers that the Ryan mirror matchup can have. But Widow,
just real quick, Widow did use her ultimate here.
Yep.
So you're able to see through the walls where all the opponents are. So pretty powerful, but probably one of the weakest ultimates in the game. But useful as heck for Widow. Oh, doesn't
nice
quite
Shatter,
get it.
does get blocked though. Yep, and here comes the gates from Red Wolves. Gonna be a ton of damage coming out. That ultimate's so strong. Pops Transcendence too to save their Ryan, keep everyone alive.
That's a bad spot to be, Little Flaps, but that's okay.
Yep, did get a little isolated there, so does lose the team fight. But they did use both support ultimates there.
Goodbye,
nice
soldier.
shot, nice shot. And we saw their swap. The last game we actually saw Mercy Ana on the side of Red Wolves. So seeing the Zen Kiriko is a little different.
Shatter.
Yep.
Doesn't get
anyone
though.
off of it. Shatter used to be so strong at the beginning of Overwatch, but a little bit of a weaker. You see that Sonic arrow down, and Scoot knows that.
Time.
Scoot also saw that Sonic arrow, so knowing that Hanzo could actually see her, or see her as Widow, but yep. Good awareness for that, knowing that he's actually in danger, but does get an arrow through the knee in response. So backing out a little bit, doesn't want to take this fight with a player down.
Ooh, not quite hitting the sleep. Yeah. But does have Nano available for our Reinhardt. Little Flaps.
Yeah, we
and
could
Little Flaps
see.
does have Shatter.
We have almost every ultimate, although we do see the one that doesn't have an ultimate is Scoot, who swapped off, so only at 28-30% ult charge, because you do retain some ult charge if you swap heroes. You retain up to 25%, so only one without his ultimate here. Again, as we saw Red Wolves do, popping Transcendence to save their teammates. Very nice use of it, and their Transcendence comes out as well. Trading Sentences here, but now it's time for our gates. They did it last time after Transcendence. It's our turn. Nano Boost coming in too.
Yeah, Sky Kirby getting value on the Blossom, excuse me.
Now Zen's kind of by himself. A little bit of a stagger there. Not a huge one, but definitely still advantageous. A lot of ults pop there, but I mean, look at how much ultimate charge Little Flaps got from that. He used Shatter that fight and is already at 70%.
And that's what's the beautiful thing. When the opponent is transcending, you're still able to get ult off them by hurting them. And you just gotta capitalize on that. Just because you're not doing damage long term, you definitely do it for the ult charge. They're not getting ultimate for taking damage, and he's not getting ultimate because he's actively using it.
Exactly. That is actually one of the differences between Sound Barrier from Lucio and Transcendence from Zenyatta. Of course, there's a difference of healing over Shield, different uses for damage over time and burst damage, but they can actually be quite comparable. But over armor like that isn't going to give you ult charge, but Transcendence you can still get ult charge through it. So getting a ton of ult charge on pretty much everyone here. Does come in with the shatter from Red Wolves. Doesn't get anyone too much, but able to capitalize from the out of position Reinhardt trying to save his team. So that is the team kill coming in from Red Wolves. So just trying to regroup. That is the one nice thing about a team kill, is that it means you all died pretty much around the same time.
Exactly.
So
you all stay together.
Yeah.
So now we got to get a full push. And we do have 2 shatters on the Beacon team, or 2 ultimates on the Beacon team. One of them big shatter, excuse me.
If that was shatter, that'd
See
be
this
a little
teleport.
spooky.
Ooh, gets value, takes the space. Will it get the Hanzo? Not quite, but will take the space.
Yep, double pocket onto the Hanzo. Nice recognition that they needed to keep him alive, but in the process, their Rhine does go down. So Sky Kirby using the distraction of forcing both supports to look at the Hanzo and save him, did get the attention away from the Rhine, so managed to capitalize on that.
Oh, absolutely. A well-done play there for spacing.
Yeah, so taking a lot of space, using the Bastion ult, going in with the artillery form. Didn't get anyone from it. Tries to go for the shatter, doesn't quite get the hit, does get blocked, but... Ooh, counter stun there, popping Transcendence. Interesting, and we almost have our own Transcendence to pop. Oh, same thing, just the same song and dance. Shatters into Transcendence to save the team. Really nice use of Transcendence. Here comes the Visor.
Valpo Beacon's got it. Hold.
Ooh. Visor Gates is such a dangerous combo. For those that don't know, Kitsune Rush, or Gates as it's often called, you see those red, what looks like gates across. It increases your cooldown refresh rate and your fire rate. So using that as well as Tac Visor just means more bullets going down range in the same amount of time. So very, very dangerous combination there. Bit of a Hanzo duel here for high ground.
Yeah, with 30 seconds left, though, you have to make a push, and you have to get value off it.
That's not a great thing to see. Hanzo going down here right when you only have 20 seconds left. He's going to have to get back, and you're going to have to push in really quickly.
Sky Kirby with an ultimate for Blossom, an amazing Blossom, but Momentum with the Dragon, also very powerful on this map.
Notice we did swap from the Hanzo to the Cassidy here. Does get the pick on the Soldier. That is very big.
Will we see a Blossom here? Oh, I think
we will see a Blossom here. Yep, and that is one. That's one. Trades, but we're also getting a lot of picks here. Does pop Transcendence to try to keep the point alive.
Ah, but he's the only teammate alive. He can't hold it.
Was the only teammate alive, so...
Ooh, and he's down!
Nice stagger! We know that he doesn't have Transcendence coming out, and that stagger's going to be so huge. Nice keeping up.
Valpo Beacon gets it in overtime.
Gets it
like
done.
Great job. Oh my gosh.
Incredible job. That was in overtime, so if they did lose that fight, that was going to be the point. They were going to end with only 2 points. Did get it quite far, even if they did lose it, but managed to push it all the way in, getting to the 3rd point, and now Red Wolves here has to get it to the 3rd point, otherwise they lose.
Incredible stuff from Valpo Beacon. And even if Red Wolves get it all the way to the end there,
it just goes to another round.
It just goes to another round. It doesn't guarantee a victory at all.
Yep, and so really nice stuff coming up from Valpo Beacon. Really well played. It was so well played. I really enjoyed that.
Now, I'll be shocked if Sky Kirby doesn't go Mei here. I'm going to be honest. Mei, and there it is. There's Sky Kirby on Mei, and Scoot on the incredible Widowmaker.
And we were talking about the Widow on offense, but what's the best counter to a Widow? Honestly, your own Widow. So,
oh yeah.
So kind of predicting the sniper pick for that top window up here with their own Widow. A lot of sight lines on this first point especially. So Widow pick is definitely not a bad choice here. And for the same reason, we actually see the Ana pick. Ana being able to take advantage of those line of sights very well as well. And of course the utility that Ana brings with the anti-nade and the sleep dart. Very nice to see here. Did see the kind of late pick of Kiriko, but Kiriko can teleport, she'll be fine. Ooh.
Yeah, the biggest disadvantage to Widowmaker, Mei, and Ana is that when they die, they take forever to walk back.
Yeah.
You gotta be mindful and careful of that.
Oh man. Ooh, the sniper duels, man. The sniper duels go crazy, trying to find just the smallest advantage above your opponent. Ooh! Nice shot. Picking
For
off
our,
the
for our
Hanzo.
viewers that might be like, a little confused as why we're calling a character with a bow a sniper, his arrow deals the same amount of damage up close as it is infinitely far away, and so it can one-shot characters in this game if it hits them in the head. So he's one of the snipers in this game.
Yep, he has no damage fall off on those arrows, so being able to shoot them long range, incredibly precise, no damage fall off, and headshots will pretty much instant kill pretty much everyone except for tanks. It will instantly kill. So he is the projectile sniper to counteract Widow's hit scan sniper. So, but we see a brawl going down on the point. Brawls can be so dangerous as they have a bastion. So
and Valpo Beacon is down supports.
Yep, and down there Ryan as well. So it looks like this first point is probably gonna get dropped here, unless Scoot can make some crazy picks here, but it doesn't look like it's gonna be happening. There Kiriko with the Harmony Orb coming with the challenge, and Hanzo does come up to finish him off. So
it's a tough fight. I give him respect for holding his ground.
Yep.
Oh, and here's this Mei we're talking about. Mei doing a great job kind of staying alive here.
Yeah, but this is such a dangerous position to be in.
Yeah.
You're forced to ice block to stay alive, but ice block you're stationary, so just being able to go past you a little bit, push your team back, and then leave you isolated is such a difficult situation to be in when you're playing Mei.
Now, what their opponents, well, I'm blanking on the name. This Bastion is doing a great job of is destroying Lil Flap's Reinhardt shield. As soon as he pulls it up, the Bastion will go into shift mode and just shatter it. So he does get value on the shatter. That's beautiful to see.
Ooh, nice.
Transcendence
nice
will come out, but not after taking out one of their opponents.
Yep.
Ooh, will he get the? Yes, he will.
Ooh, nice picks, but does return shatter. Gets a pick of his own. Ooh, this is very back and forth fight here. Lots of picks on both sides, but it does look like Red Wolves are coming out on top here. That street phase is notoriously very difficult for defenders to hold.
Will we get the? Ooh,
not
quite the teleport.
Not quite able to get the teleport to save the Junkrat there. So do definitely want to regroup here. Want to back up, and that Junkrat died so late. But Junkrat does have movement abilities. Those concussion mines able to launch himself as well without taking the damage. So
absolutely
being able to use that to get back to the fight quickly if he needs to. But
looks like a pretty early dragon trying to make sure the point comes up. Oh, and real quick, we have
a blizzard. We have a nano boost.
Looks like it gets great value, at least for spacing. Let's look at this nano grind here.
Pushing them back very far. Already got 2 picks. Yeah. This is pretty much a done fight here. They need to back up and regroup so they can go in at an even 5v5. But speaking of even, the ult percents are looking pretty dang similar. They have 1 DPS ult, and both support and tank ults are very similar percent here.
We do have a Junkrat tire, and the famous thing about Junkrat tires, if it could kill all of them, it could kill none of them, it could kill some of them. It is a very powerful ultimate if used at the exact time it needs to be used.
And here we see it coming in. Does get the Zen.
And it takes out the Zen.
Nice. I mean, that Junkrat tire, right at the center, right at the tire, does, I believe, 600 damage, I believe it is. So able to one-shot everyone except the Rhine if they're at 1 HP. The only downside is it can't be killed. It only has 100 health. Is extremely mobile, but can be killed.
I don't know if you noticed that, but Lil Flaps killed the Reinhardt as he was shattering, completely wasting his ultimate, and then Lil Flaps using his ultimate, taking out 3 of the opposing soft targets.
Very nice.
Beautiful stuff to see.
Huge pushback, gonna cost them a lot of time on that fight. Going to high ground, looking for some early fire strikes, get a little bit back, get a little bit of that ult charge back. So fire strike is so important for Reinhardt's ult economy. So keeping track of that and purposely trying to avoid getting hit by fire strikes is so important for the ult economy.
Right. And the Red Wolves, only with 1 minute and 50 seconds, has to get it to the next checkpoint for a chance to win the game. Try something different, getting a good group movement, the spacing, but there's a sleep.
I love this. I'd like to point this out, is that Valpo Beacons were standing both sides of the choke, with the Reinhardt on the opposite side, looking for a cross-point shatter, a cross-choke, not shatter, but charge. But Red Wolves rotated around and flipped the map on them. So coming up behind them, where generally your supports are generally in the back of your team. So flipping the map on them forces them to reposition so quickly. But Beacon being ready for that and actually performing that rotation so quickly allowed them to win the fight anyway. So it was so well played by both teams. I love to see that.
It was incredible. The reaction time of the Beacon is of the Beacon team is the reason it was a victory
Yeah, they
for the
ever acted
Beacons in that
so
push there.
fast with that map swap. So, do running down mid this time, looking for the wall off. This is it's such a strong strategy with Maze, looking to wall off their
There's the
tank.
May that
But
we like to see, and then there is the Nano.
yep, there's the
It's
Nano
good value.
Ryan.
The Zen just kind of countered it there.
But we did actually see an application of that Transcendence being a heal over time. As you saw, someone still died in the middle of Transcendence due to Reinhardt charge. Well, that charge is burst damage, so
And that's
you
yep.
can't heal through burst damage.
Absolutely. And that soldier got killed at the last second. A beautiful thing to see. We do have Shatter available, but I
Yep.
want to pay attention to the tire.
Yep.
Again, the
So
tire is the make or break ultimate, and you never know what to expect here.
yep. Notice they do only have 15 seconds left, so looking for the shatter off of the corner, but they respond with theirs first. Responding with our own shatter. All you have to do is win this one fight here and just pop every ult. This is last fight scenario, going into
There's the
overtime in just 3
tire.
seconds. Tires looking for at least one pick, does get one.
The Reinhardt's a great pick. Great
Incredible
pick
pick
to start
here.
with.
No real way to defend their team now. Getting tons of picks, and the gates come in too. Oh man, and now just the Kiriko alive. And overtime, I don't think the Ryan's gonna be able to touch.
No, not at all. And that's
Nice hold,
Valpo
nice
Beacons.
second map from Valpo Beacon, taking it with a 3 points to 1, able to hold in the street phase. I mean, I was talking about earlier how notoriously that is very difficult for defenders to hold, and showing that it's not impossible. So very, very well played being able to utilize that.
All right, let's see this play here. Ooh, beautiful stuff.
Taking a nap in the middle to play a game, classic, classic.
And this is the Red Wolves play of the game.
Yeah, this is right on the first point. We actually saw this from Little Flap's perspective there. Just being able to take that first point, but not able to get it into the second.
Yeah, it was crazy to see, really cool to see as well. Valpo 2, and then the Red Wolves 0.
Yep.
They have played before in the activation series at the beginning of the school year, or beginning of the semester, excuse me,
Mm.
and they did 2-1. So they only play 3 maps no matter what, and the Red Wolves did take a map. So I was curious to see how this game would go, and the captain of the Beacon team was very confident that they were going to sweep them. And I was like, I don't know, like I'm sure you guys are going to win, but I want to make sure you guys aren't going in too confident. I feel like they went in with the perfect amount of confidence
I
right now.
think
They
they
are doing
did.
an incredible job taking the points where they needed to. Did they struggle at the beginning? Absolutely, but they just had to learn their opponents again, and I feel like they've learned them very well.
Exactly. I mean, Red Wolves showing that. I mean, it isn't just a pushover. Like they definitely are putting up a fight, but Valpo Beacon just being that one step ahead, being ready for the plays is so nice to see. So do come in with a pretty dominant showing in the game in the second game, and coming in with this is match point. If Red Wolves do not win this map, the match is over. So we
That's
do
right.
just win. And coming into the escort, looks like it is going to be Circuit Royale we are going on
Circuit
to.
Royale. One of the newer maps, one of the, in my
Mhm.
opinion, a little more clustered map. There's a lot of verticality. There's a
Mhm.
lot of sharp corners, but most
Yeah,
importantly, there are spaces to snipe.
exactly. A lot of sharp corners, a lot of 90-degree turns, which
Mhm.
you can treat kind of similar to the choke points. But as you said, those 90-degree turns make for very long hallways, like hallway-esque type things. Almost your entire path on the payload, especially first point, is basically just a giant choke point. So being able to use sniper heroes like Widow and even maybe a Hanzo, we've seen a Widow and a Hanzo on Beacon's side in these games before. You've seen both of them, and so being able to utilize that is going to be quite scary. There is a lot of sniper positions that you can get very long sight lines on.
And I know we talked about 90s, but I believe on this map there's also a 180 at one point.
Hmm.
And so there's just this mosh pit essentially, a space where there's a ton of vertical, there's a ton of place where the cart has to be, and just anything can happen at any point. You can win 2 of the 3 fights that are happening there, but the third one you'll lose, and it could go all the way back down the ramp, and it's so infuriating. But it's
Exactly.
really crazy to think about, and you got to be aware. You got to win those fights consistently, and you
Yep.
got to play
I mean,
smart.
as the payload is a race car, just use a little bit of a fancy term that it resembles a hairpin turn a lot. There's a
Yes.
lot of those just turn right around points, especially first point into second point as well. a lot of those just 180 turnarounds. So just basically two choke points right after each other can be very, very dangerous. Very, very advantageous for the defending team to be able to try to keep them away there.
Oh, totally,
And
totally,
then
totally,
and then
totally.
the high ground on that second point path looking down onto where the first point is very, very strong. So as you're talking about, so much high ground, so much chances for sniper heroes like Widow, like Hanzo to just be able to win fights. So I'm expecting to see a Widow. I'm expecting to see at least a Widow.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely expecting a Widow. I could see a Sojourn as well with that
Ooh,
kind of
Sojourn, yeah,
verticality and just
that's
her
true.
speed, just perfect for this map.
Yep, Sojourn's movement is insane. She is very, very mobile, hard to pin down, and she's still kind of broken. So I definitely could see a Sojourn here. We might even, depending on what heroes people are comfortable to play, I could definitely see a Widow Sojourn being very strong on this map, just with the hero picks themselves. But it also does depend on the player behind the heroes. Just picking Sojourn or just picking Widow does not mean you are guaranteed a win. You do have to actually play the hero. So.
And speaking of players behind the heroes, we do have a player switch out on the Valpo Beacon team. We have
Mhm.
Atlas going in for Sky Kirby. Sky Kirby doing a fantastic job, but Atlas, I'm sure he's going to bring his own version of the game
Exactly.
to the match, as we'll see.
And actually, we were kind of talking as this was happening, but we also saw some swaps on Red Wolf's side. So,
That's right.
I mean, before obviously, we had their and our team's starting roster play, and then they made some swaps for the second game, but we didn't. So now we are actually seeing swaps coming from both sides. So this is going to be just a whole new experience as well, different from both of the first two matches.
It looks like it's not confirmed yet, but it looks like Little Flaps, our tank player, PC has crashed.
Oh no.
So I think we're gonna have to wait a little longer to get him set up and booted. It hasn't been confirmed, but it does appear that way. Could you agree?
It does appear that way, looking at the chat here. So, we talked about this at the very beginning. Have it happen at the very start, not in the middle. We talked about this,
That's
guys.
true. I am glad it's not happening in the middle of a game,
That
though.
is true. That
That
is
is a
true. It is not the
huge
worst
part.
case. It is not the worst case scenario here. But come on, we told you this. If you're gonna have your PC go down, do it in the
Oh,
beginning. Come
and there he
on.
is. He's out of the
And there he
lobby.
goes.
So it looks like Valpo Beacon will be taking their technical difficulties
Yep.
over break, I
Break. Yep.
guess. Yep.
So does take a little bit of a break, and as we were talking about before when this happened on Red Wolf's side, it's not unheard of. It's obviously allocated for, so
Hmm.
a little bit unfortunate that it's happening right before the match point for Red Wolves, but if it's gonna happen, at least it's not in the middle of the game, because
At
that's
least it's not in
really
the
good.
middle game.
If anything is gonna throw them off of their momentum and their chances of taking this to a round four, is gonna be having to pause in the middle of a game.
Oh yeah,
So
totally.
at least it's happening. Excuse me. At least it's happening beforehand. But
Uh-oh,
does
did Atlas go down too?
oh no, oh no. They're dropping like flies over here. Come on.
It could be likely. I know for the two, I know the computers are at right now, and I know that they crash really easily if you're
Oh
just not
no.
on them. If you're idle, they'll go down so fast. So it
Yeah.
looks like Atlas was away from his computer.
Oh no.
Oh no. So Little Flaps will move in, log himself back in, and then Atlas will do the same. Shouldn't be a big problem.
Mhm.
Oh man, they got the what the heck
Yeah.
in the chat.
Yeah, but it shouldn't be too long here. It doesn't take a horribly long amount of time to boot
No,
this
not at
up.
all. Little
But
Flaps is already back in the game. So,
yep. But Atlas was a little bit of a stagger there, a little bit of a stagger crash. So gonna take a little bit of time for him to get back to the fight.
yeah, just like some Overwatch for the respawn.
Hey, getting into the game, in the game, it's the same thing. It's just a
Absolutely.
pregame. Pregame.
There you go. Oh man.
Yep, they got the little pregame stagger. So.
I will say, looking at the endorsement levels. So, in case some of the viewers don't know, endorsement levels they're a little number. It's either 1 to 4, or is there a 5?
I don't
We're
think
gonna we're gonna we're gonna say 1 to 4,
there
and
probably is a 5, but that's
I've never
it.
seen it.
I've seen a 4 before. because I am a 4.
Yep,
But I've never seen a 5, but I'm sure it's probably possible. But you
right.
need someone on the other team to endorse you too, because there's only 4 other people, so
That's
it'd
right.
be basically impossible to see, but I'm sure it's exists possibly.
Yep. So
But
those endorsement levels, what they are is if you're level one, you have the basic endorsement level, and then the more endorsements you get in a game, either for good sportsmanship or just skill, it's your teammates and opponents' discretion whether or not you get an endorsement or not. And the more endorsements you get, the higher your rating will go.
hmm
So the high rating, like a endorsement level 4, is traditionally with the support players. If there's a mercy that keeps rezzing
Hi.
or just healing just nonstop, like you might do, they'll get a high endorsement quickly. And so if you're like a sniper or someone that plays characters that are a little wonky, you might not. So I
Mm.
know on the club team, Will plays Moira, so he never gets endorsed. Scoot plays a lot of Widowmaker, so he's not getting endorsements.
Yeah,
And
it's
yeah,
definitely hard for DPS to get endorsements just because it's a lot harder for them to really be visibly doing a huge amount in a game. I mean, of course, they very well can be, don't get me wrong, but supports, if the support is popping off, especially just online quick play, stuff like that, it can be very visible for your quick play teammates to see if they're just being kept alive through everything. But
here's this 180 that we were talking about earlier. We have
exactly.
a lot of track, I suppose,
And the thing is, this
right
is just
here.
one of the 180s. Just that corner right down to the right is also another 180, albeit with a little bit more space on the turn. But look at that, just coming right around again. A
Oh yeah.
ton of angles here. A ton of just those 90-degree angles with long sight lines on there. And that 90-degree turn that I was talking about has a bit more space. The high ground from point two can see that. So there are so many high ground angle here to get very, very long sight lines. Right there, you can see that high ground, that little peak right there, can see down to that first point. You know, you can see here a ton of sight lines here. And as we predicted, seeing a lot of the sniper heroes coming out.
Absolutely.
See on Valpo Beacon, we got the Widow and the Soldier. You're talking about it, and as well as the Kiriko and the Ana. So a lot of the long distance heroes being able to combat things from a distance. And then on a Red Wolf side, we see the Hanzo, Ashe, not exactly the same picks that we have, but definitely still the sniper picks. And then Zen and Kiriko being able to use that distance as well. Both roll into the Sigma. This is famously a very strong Sigma map, being able to utilize his shield flicker and shield usage very well. Being able to cut off sight lines with that shield from the snipers is very strong. Makes it a very good map for him.
Absolutely. You can't tell on the stream, but I am nodding my head the whole time he is talking. He is spitting the truth, and it is nice to see. Scoot will fall from the opposing Hanzo, but we do take a support in countering, so that's pretty
Did
good.
trade, and generally a trade for a DPS for a support is generally unfavorable, but definitely not unworkable. Gets the Sigma too, and this Ashe is really low. Gonna be able to get
Will
the
they get
shots
value?
here.
Yes, he
There it is.
will.
Yeah, being so close to Sigma there makes it really hard to aim that. His projectiles, he's really good at the mid-range, which makes him one of the reasons why he's so good at this map. I talked about the shield a little bit earlier, but being able to use those orbs just to spam out at a distance is so good on these points with those choke points there. But being too close can make it very difficult to hit. So
So true, so true. And we talked about this earlier with Scoot falling at the beginning, and Little Flaps taking someone else. That's a trade effectively, and attackers at the beginning of the fight will always take the advantage with a trade because they're coming back so quickly.
and we're going to see if we're going to be able to take advantage of that again, as we do lose the first pick first again. The Kiriko going down, but does get the Hanzo here a little bit later, so we'll see if that really does come into effect here.
I know Kiriko can spawn in quickly, whereas Hanzo's going to have some mobility, but not really enough to really make a huge time gap.
Yep, Kiriko is going to, ooh, not quite, just barely left on 1 HP.
Forces her out of the fight for sure.
Oh, I love that, I love that. Ooh, I love that too,
Beautiful.
holy crap.
Loving to see it.
But what I was gonna say before that incredible shot was you saw the headshot on the Ashe getting her down to 1 HP, but then Scoot almost looked like he was looking through the wall there. Well, those little panels that are on the high ground actually have small little gaps underneath that you can actually shoot through if you are very precise. It's very hard to hit, but you can do it. So he was actually looking for just to shoot the little toes there, and confirm the kill on the Ashe, but gets the Hanzo instead.
I actually didn't know that. That's really cool.
Yeah, you can't do it on every little gap on there, but there are some gaps in there you can't actually shoot through. So nice usage of that, trying to look for the kill. Gets the Hanzo instead anyway. So get pushed back a little bit here, but ults are coming online, and a lot of them for Beacon. Almost every ult except Dragon, and Dragon notoriously can charge very quickly if you hit your shot. So
Yep. This is a recent swap off the Widowmaker, so we're not expecting to see any ultimates ready to go from the Hanzo. But we might see something from Low Flaps here. And there we
there's the
go.
Sigma,
There's all the people.
dodges the rock.
Dodges the rock, which is what he needed. But does get E more, but not enough to save the Hanzo, which is still very good.
Very nice. And the thing is, did pop the Transcendence there, so that Hanzo kill was really good coordination there, because they had to get him down under half HP. For those who don't know, Sigma's ultimate does do exactly 50% of the health that you get lifted up with. Actually, no, it is total health, I do believe. Yeah, it is total health.
50% total health, yeah.
50% total health. It is Sombra's that is 40% of your total health. That's right. But Sigma's does do 50% of your total health. And with that Transcendence there, especially on a squishy 200 health hero, that's going to get healed up really quickly. So really nice coordination to capitalize on that Hanzo, getting him down and actually able to kill through the Transcendence. But we see the Sigma's Gravitic's Flux coming out, but incredible cancel down there. I believe that was the Sleep Dart, if I heard correctly.
Sleep Dart or Rock, yeah, I think it was a sleep.
Yeah, I believe I heard the Sleep Dart, so incredible Sleep Dart coming in to cancel that Sigma's ultimate, one of the best tank ultimates, if not the best tank ultimate there, so canceling that is very strong. Hanzo a little bit in the back, singles him out, nice kill. Trades though, so does look like you're getting pushed back a little bit. Having to try to reset, trying to regroup.
Little Flaps trying to stay alive here.
Yeah, but getting double pocketed here, but
loses
not
both
anymore.
supports in the process.
Yeah, double pocket down to 0. But notice, Little Flaps is already at 82% towards his next Flux.
That's right.
And well, in return, their Zen Halo on the side of Red Wolves is also at almost exactly the same percent. So we might see another Gravitic Flux Transcendence again.
Yeah, that Zen will be quite powerful against I'm blanking right now, against Sigma's ult, but let's
the Gravitic Flux, yep. But I was actually going to mention
Gets
this,
the Zen
but
out there.
I was
Beautiful.
gonna wonder whether they were going to do a Gravitic Flux Dragon combo, but the Dragon actually came in to force them all together in order for the Gravitic Flux to be more effective. So really nice ult combo. Was the ult combo I expected, but not how I expected it. So mixing me up too a little bit.
It definitely mixed up the opponents as well.
Exactly.
We're ready for that.
Hey, if you're able to mix up the commentators who can see all the resources, that just means you're playing well right there. If you're able to mix everyone up.
You're doing something right.
Exactly, and definitely doing something right. Sigma a little bit isolated here, does manage to get back to his team. Here comes their Gravitic Flux.
There,
no cancel coming in.
Take it.
Yep, no cancel coming in, but didn't need it. So able to heal back up. As well, Valpo Beacon doesn't have a Zen on their side. So they don't have that big defensive support ultimate with Ana Kiriko. You don't have that big defensive support ultimate to counter that. So being able to just back off a lot and being able to survive that ultimate, this ultimate's huge amount of pressure is very well played.
The rock there.
A little bit of a Sigma duel happening on the mid ground here.
Bob joins the battle, but stays in the corner.
Very interesting Bob position. I feel like they probably wanted to hit Little Flaps with that, so the Bob would actually stop right in the middle of the point, right in the middle of the hallway, but didn't quite get it.
They definitely had a hard fight decision there. We do see the Nano coming out and going for the back line. Ooh,
yep,
doesn't
pops
quite
the
take it, but does force Transcendence out, which is nice to see.
Yeah, but two picks down now is going to be extremely hard to push into. Probably looking to back out of here and regroup. There's a third one. Yeah, definitely looking to back out now. Didn't quite make it out. So
and here's the Sojourn, something that I was hoping to see.
It's the Sojourn. Man, pretty much every hero we talked about has popped up at some point.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Exciting to see. And Little Flaps pulling out Reinhardt with less than a minute remaining. Really wants to get that push in quickly. We'll have to be mindful of Sigma's ultimate on standby on the opponent's Red Wolves.
What's interesting here is, one, you did point out the Ryan, his barrier being able to cover the hallway a lot better, and Ryan Sigma is actually quite a fairly difficult matchup for Sigma. Ryan being able to get in close and really do a lot of damage to him. But I also want to point out, this is a Sojourn, which is a very strong hero, but is without a Mercy Pocket. So keeping the support core of Valpo Beacon, the Kiriko and the Ana, does mean that the Sojourn is going to do a little bit less damage, not as powerful as possible, but swapping to the Bastion. Bastion is coming out again. Tons of damage onto this Reinhardt shield.
And with 15 seconds left, they don't have the ability to regroup or reform.
Yep. There comes the Dragon.
Powerful Dragon.
Yep. Charge through the Dragon. I wonder.
Did not see that coming.
I wonder if Lowflaps just couldn't see the charge coming through the Dragon. That Dragon is actually really powerful, not specifically for the kills, but its real strength comes from positional advantage, being able to cut off certain areas and flank routes.
I completely agree.
As well as just visual. It is a very large, very large and loud visual effect.
It is an effective poison gas, smoke screen, damage dealing. It is powerful. It is scary. It is dangerous, and it was there. And the Reinhardt could just be right in there the whole time.
I have seen Dragons used not only for the kills, but also just to cut off those angles I talked about. But I've also seen the niche cases of using the loud ultimate, like the Hanzo speaking. I do actually know how to pronounce it, but I'm not going to do it because that's saved for later. But but I've actually seen it used to use that voice line to cover up other abilities usage. Because a lot of times you can use audio cues for stuff like Sleep Dart. I actually if you guys were paying very close attention earlier, I called out that the Sigma Gravitic Flux on second point from Red Wolves was canceled by a Sleep Dart. I knew that was different because of the sound effect coming out. I heard the Sleep Dart fired instead of the rock. So being able to cover up some sound effects can actually be really helpful.
That is really cool. Yeah, the voice is what they say. I also know...
it's a bit of a niche case, but yeah, I've seen it.
I also know that there's sometimes you can put captions on the game, so you're able to see the words. So that's the way that you can't avoid that.
Yep, I actually play with subtitles on for that reason. I actually really like it, but getting an early pick here, getting 2 early picks, very, very... 3
early picks!
Rack them up, keep them coming. All right, let's go.
And just like that, they stop their push.
Yep, stop the first push. There it is. There is the entire push. About 30 seconds, and they all 3/5 of their team died in about 20 seconds. But you see that advantage of the Sigma shield, Little Flaps throwing it out onto the choke point, even from the high ground, so covering the Hanzo all the way from there, but...
Ooh, Reaper out of nowhere.
Does get brought down. This Ana hiding behind the coverage there, very nicely played. Is forced to back out here a little bit. Oh, there goes the Zen, and... Ana being close to a Reaper is a very, very scary position to be in.
That's a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and not in a
Yeah, because you're not going to have any more of your lifetime afterwards.
Ooh, Mrs. Rock.
That's Mr. Rock.
He's struggling.
So
die.
Out of place. Sigma, so slow, such a very low mobility tank. Trying to get away from that is so difficult. We actually see the Pharah here.
Yeah, speaking of verticality.
Yep, you did mention the verticality of this map earlier. I mean, we are just seeing everything that we talked about coming out here. We see the snipers, we see the verticality, we see the rush with the Reaper.
Ooh, nice play. Very satisfying.
Come on, get the Zen, get the Zen, get the Zen.
Yes.
Nice. And that is both supports down, so that is pretty much
recovery.
Both supports down pretty much means a team fight win unless you do some crazy plays. So looks like it's pretty much only the Sigma on point here, but he is regrouping quite well.
Alice is doing a phenomenal job on far right now and getting pocketed by the lovely Mercy.
Yep, we do see the swap from the Kiriko to a Mercy pick. I love to see it. As a Mercy player, I like to see a Mercy.
Ooh, that Zen did not stand a chance.
Incredible isolation.
Ooh, dangerous play here with the Hanzo.
That was incredible isolation on the Zen. Being able to stop the Zen.
Ooh.
Oh my word.
He was ready.
So good isolations here. We see the Zen on the low ground. We see finding the Reaper on the sidelines.
As soon as the Red Wolves are going for those off angles, they're getting punished.
Oh no,
and it's
but
a beautiful thing to see from Beacon.
There we actually saw the use of the dragon that we talked about to separate the team. It kept Little Flaps away from his team. It separated right down the middle, but Little Flaps able to survive it and then using Gravitic Flux to cancel it out. But
This might
Red
be the end of
Wolves,
Little Flaps.
yeah, Red Wolves Gates coming in. Kiriko's Kitsune Rush ultimate, such an incredibly strong ultimate. One of the best, if not the best in the game. So coming in, being able to capture the point. But we do see another swap and lots of hero swaps. So we see a swap to the Cassidy and the Mei, and with the swap from the Pharah comes the swap from the Mercy going on to the Lucio that we saw the first round.
That's a good trade in my book.
I would definitely take that trade all day.
Sigma over Mercy, absolutely. I will have to confess, it looks like Valpo Beacon is struggling on this offensiveness from the Red Wolves, and is therefore trying to mix things up, trying to change them, trying to get something to go. Ooh, beautiful sleep.
Does get
Does
the Ana with it though.
Does get the Blossom out of it.
Was able to Wraith form out of there, so Reaper being able to survive it. Nice roll from Scoop being able to avoid the Gravitic Flux, but Little Flaps does go down.
Fall.
This is going to be so difficult to hold now. Oh, never mind. Coming in with all the picks as
Oh, beautiful stuff. Don't die, Cassidy. Yeah.
it looked so bad from Scoot's point of view, but that's because he was distracting the Sigma. Sigma pushing up to push on him allowed the rest of the team to go back and just kill the entire backline. So really nice defense there, and we see a little bit of spam damage here, trying to get some early picks.
Well, it's beautiful to see with the shield character not there. You're able to capitalize on the soft targets, and that's exactly what Atlas was doing there. Atlas is probably going to use his Blossom here. He sees all 5 of them.
Oh,
I don't know why I said Blossom. I meant Blizzard.
Same thing. It's a Blossom of Snow.
Oh my gosh.
It's a Blossom of
There it
Snow.
is.
It's close enough. I actually really like that Nano Boost to save Atlas.
Ooh,
If you
there's
saw
a powerful dragon.
If you saw that Atlas got incredibly low and didn't have Ice Block, so Nano Boost coming in to save him just so that Blizzard could come out. I almost did it too. He almost got me saying Blossom. But we see the ball for the stall,
but
not able.
Quite.
Not ball for the stall, but the grapple off the wall was not able to make it. So
You were ready for that one. And that is going to be a point towards. I think we missed this, but I think this is when it was. Yeah, look at this. Oh, see, no shield to protect.
Yep.
Soft targets everywhere.
Both,
and headshots.
both of their
baby.
supports down with headshots, and there we saw Scoot was actually keeping the Sigma's attention on him, so able to cycle around there and get the rest of the team. So
Yeah, incredible
really nicely
stuff.
played.
That does mean they will take a map. They just took
They
it.
did take him out. You did call it. You called it.
It is now 2-1.
So coming off of that escort, we're actually going into push.
Push map.
Yep, we are going on to push. So
I love push maps. They're so exciting. They're
yeah.
energetic and they're intense.
Yeah, they can be. A lot of people actually don't like the push game mode, but what it does is because you are constantly pushing this bot back and forth, is that it forces you to win multiple team fights in a row, which can be quite difficult to defend once you get the momentum because you get your ult charges, you can start doing ult fights and stuff like that as long as you cycle your ults quite well. But now that both teams, this isn't quick play, now that you have the coordination here, this might actually be quite interesting to see. And Push only has 3 maps to pick from. So,
Right, and one of them's getting banned.
and one ban means that you're banning 1/3 of the entire map roster.
Esperanza is banned for that fact.
Yep. So that leaves New Queen Street and Curlicio.
Coliseum, yeah, that's right. And one thing the push maps do really well is they show consistency. So here we want to see which team is the most consistent at winning their fights.
Yes.
And that's what push map will reward. Whoever wins the most consistent after the change, there's like 6 minutes. As long as during that 6-minute period, you figure out which team's going to beat their team or which setup's going to beat their setup and stay beating their setups when they change it, you're going to take the whole thing, regardless of how far the opponent's pushed. Consistency, consistency, consistency
Exactly.
is what this push map is.
Exactly. You have to win multiple team fights in a row to really get a good push. And as I said earlier, once you win that first team fight, get control of the bot, it can be actually easier to win the next fight because you can manage your ultimates. But in turn, getting that one team fight, and it kind of cycles back and forth, which is why you see a lot of these very close push games. And actually why a lot of them actually end up going to time. As you can cut the game short, you can cut it early if you manage to push the bot all the way in. But actually, a lot of times you won't see that, as once you get closer to the enemy's position, you're also closer to their spawn, so it makes it more likely for them to win the fight, which then in turn pushes back towards you. So it kind of goes that back and forth there.
So we are seeing Sky Kirby go back in, and we are seeing Coliseum is what we're
Yep.
doing.
I mean,
And it looks like, sorry, but it looks like the Red Wolves are taking their restroom
yep.
break as well.
Is taking a little bit of a break here. Hey, it has been a long match. Have been playing for about an hour and 15
Hour
minutes
and
now. So
15, yeah.
taking a break is definitely not a bad plan here. Just gotta do what you gotta do.
No, not at all. Definitely the smart play there. It was fun during club season. We had two games that were back to back, and
Yup.
they were very hard games, very challenging opponents.
Yup.
But if we won a single match, or if one team didn't win it all, we would have had to take more than an hour commitment, and it would have been so challenging to put those two together. Thankfully, it worked out in that scheduling
Yep.
manner.
Double headers like that are always hard to schedule around because you never
Hmm.
know how long they're gonna go, especially with Overwatch, which Smash it's kind of easier because while each round does take longer, it is still only a best of three. But Overwatch is just a first to three, and Overwatch games can take a while as well. Like you were talking about, Push has a 6 minute map, and it oftentimes goes to time.
Oh yes,
So
well when I say six, it probably is 10. I think
I
actually.
think it's actually 10.
Yeah, I think
I
it's
think it
actually
is 10.
10.
So each of these games, if you go to time and it's not just like an absolute steamroll, which none of these games have been,
Mm-mm.
it ends up taking a very long time to go through Overwatch games. So we do see a little bit of a bathroom break here. So sometimes you just need it. It's
Absolutely,
been a
totally reasonable.
very long stretch of playing competitively, and it's not done yet. Do
Not
have
at all.
at least one more. Again, this is again a match point for Red Wolves here. So one match loss. So if this game and Push does not have flipping sides, which is one of the reasons why the timer is so much longer, is that all the other maps we saw, there was offense and defense. Push doesn't have that. It's just both teams go and you go back and forth through each of the phases. You go offense,
It's
go
two
defense.
offensives.
Exactly. So it is actually we're not going to be seeing what we did in the past ones of yep they pushed it far this time but next round we'll see if they can stop it. No, it is if they get further, if Valpo gets further than Red Wolves here, it is done. There is no other second round for this. So it is all hands on deck here. All cards down. Gotta pull out the entire stop here. Just like last game, it is match point for Red Wolves. But if Red Wolves win this next one, like if they win this push match, it is then match point for the entire lobby.
That's right. It's going to be quite intense if that's the case. What we're looking at here is a little overview of the starting map. There's the robot in the center. That is the push cart that they're trying to move.
Hmm.
And see that red thing on the left and the blue thing on the right? That's going to be the push pillars. That's where they're taking the measurements of who pushed what where. And so the robot is in charge of pushing that little um,
Hmm.
obelisk, is what I'm going to call it.
They call it barriers.
Barrier. They call
Barricades. Barricades. They call them
barricade. That is a
barricades. Yes.
barricade. So we're gonna see this kind of overview mosh pit fight, kind of, and see who kind of takes control.
Hmm. Yep. So we were talking about it, or at least you were saying that that robot right in the center effectively becomes the control point. So in the
That's
past
right.
maps, especially the control map, of course, but also in the hybrid, you see that control point that you're first fighting over. Well, this robot in the center is that control point, but that control point moves because the robot moves after it unlocks in 8 seconds. So we see the first fight coming in here. And with an early pick from Red Wolves onto SkyJ's Mei, so backing out a little bit, giving a bit of space. But in push, that isn't a bad thing, because just because it's a little bit of space given up, you can definitely make that up.
We do see something quite unique with a Junker Queen. Not something you see very often.
I love seeing Junker Queen play. She just isn't that great in the current meta, so you don't see her a lot, but she's so much fun. Already has a shatter, and that is going to be a big thing to see on the Junker Queen versus Ryan. Junker Queen has no way to stop shatter. She has no barrier to block it, so this Ryan is going to be getting free shatters on the team whenever he gets it, unless SkyJ gets a clutch wall and blocks it, but I would not be expecting to see that.
That's right. It seems like the Red Wolves are playing so aggressively here, and they're just trying to make sure they could push the cart while it's behind them and holding the ground that's farther up ahead, kind of a safe space for the person to push the cart. You see a flank of a teleport.
Nice
Gets good
teleport.
value for taking them off the map or off the high ground. Would have been awesome to see a pick, but totally understandable. Ooh, beautiful shift into a death on the Reinhardt. Let's take a look at Reinhardt. What is the guy going here?
Yeah, and yep, we see the swap from Little Flats to Ryan off of the Junker Queen just to be able to block those shatters, be able to match it with a barrier and a shatter of their own. So we did get the little treat of Junker Queen gameplay, but immediately swapping off to the Rhine. So, and it showed to have worked very well, winning that fight and getting the bot trying to get some distance of their own, trying to retaliate a little bit.
Just a little bit. looks like
hopefully
Valpo,
more than a little bit.
Hopefully more than a little bit.
I would prefer to. Nice save.
Away from his supports. He is anti, so he can't get healed quickly, and he's going to be
cut
stuck the
off
whole time.
Yeah,
and there he
is.
goes.
And I was saying he was cut off, but he was even more cut off than I could see because we saw the Mei wall coming in. Nice job, and that is another team fight win. Nice shield to block the Ashe dynamite.
I'm gonna say it. Valpo was consistent on the recovery, and they were consistent on the push, and so they're gonna be valued from that. So they're so close to already making it back up to what they originally lost. Only this time they have the Shatter, they have the Blizzard, they have the Nano, they have the Emort, they have all the powerful ultimates going on standby.
Yeah, and they're about to have a whole lot of ultimates going on right now as Valpo has used Transcendence, but other than that has every other ult online, but doesn't have a Zenyatta online as they are back in the spawn room.
That's right. It is tragic to see. They will have to regroup because they know that when one support's down, they don't want to fight it.
I love this coverage coming out from Little Flaps, trying to protect SkyJ whenever he's in Ice Block. This Ryan has been so aggressive on SkyJ whenever you see the Ice Block come out, and Little Flaps just trying to charge him away, keep and protect his team, just like you'd think a tank would, but does go down.
Agree.
Does
I
go
will
down,
point out
so.
for this push map, when they switch between who has the robot does go faster when he's not pushing a barricade, or is that what we call?
Yes, barricade.
Yeah, barricade. So that's why the recovery is so quickly for some of the team opponents. Just a little bit of explanation there. Ooh, that Mei wall might have done
Mei
some
wall
problems.
kind of messing up the Blossom there, but I mean that is one of the advantages of being able to push it farther, not just for the obvious distance of it you want to win, but it also means once the opponent gets a retake, you can get back to your barricade a lot faster. So, and you see actually just right behind them, right there where they're coming out, is the spawn room. And the reason why they can do that is because this map actually goes under the bridge and around and up if you see where that bot is going. So a little bit extra distance there.
Ooh, beautiful!
Ooh, nice shatter,
Beautiful.
he's able to capitalize.
Was the team behind? I think so. That's a Nano. Uh-oh.
That is a Nano, but there's a
one?
Nano of our own.
Yes,
Nicely
okay,
done.
Okay.
They are trapped. They are running for their lives.
He's a runner. He's a track star. There's the Mei wall.
Oh, Mei wall. Nice Mei wall.
Ooh,
Cutting off that angle.
Ash.
Yep.
Oh, the time delay. The time delay.
The stagger is huge. I love that Mei wall. That Mei wall was so good coming out from SkyJ. You saw that the Ashe and Kiriko were running away through that hallway. Just putting that wall up to just completely cut it off. They now had to take a longer route that they weren't heading towards originally, able to capitalize on it, and chasing this McCree down.
Oh, wait, maybe not a waste of Shadow because there was one teammate in there, but looks like he's doing okay.
Didn't waste Shadow,
Kiriko
but
in the
it
wrong
cost
spot.
them the Kiriko.
I'm just jumping up and down right now. This is so exciting.
This is so good. Gets the Fire Strike. He is 1 HP. Reaper's able to take him out from a distance. That's how you know he's won.
And that's a team kill.
Team kill is probably going to get the, actually not going to get the lead here since the bot has reached the first point. That does mean you get forward spawns, but the bot does kind of sit there for a minute, getting the barricade, you know. The bot's been working hard.
Red Wolves' time to ult, but holy
that's
cow,
going to be so much damage.
It's crazy. Let's see, this Reinhardt's...
Oh, do trade Annas.
So he's struggling. He's down.
Yep, traded Annas, but we didn't trade Reinhardt's, but again, with the Ana down, that means we only have Zen healing here, so going to be a lot of damage.
Should get close to cart control. Yes, they now have the advantage. They now have it farther than the opponents.
And
they're stuck in the opponent's spawn. Yes. Oh man, Red Wolves might have let their guard down there for a second.
It is going to
Oh,
it is going to be very difficult for Valpo to get it all the way in just because it is so close to the spawn room of the enemy's team. But being in the lead is so important here.
absolutely.
Excuse me.
There is only 3 minutes and 30 seconds left, so time is of the essence right now.
Of course.
Uh, but yes, they both teams don't have to push it that far for Valpo to win it all, and for the opponents to match where Valpo's at now. So it is still anybody's fight at any moment.
Oh, and there's both Ana cooldowns actually coming out. So does have Nano here. I'm surprised he didn't Ana looking for it probably.
He's They don't need to use
A
the
lot more
Nano right now. That's
a
what that
lot
looked
more
like.
disciplined than I would be. I would have popped Nano right there. So good ultimate discipline and teamwork coming out. You saw the Blossom actually come in instead of the Nano to save the Reinhardt. So
I
good
could
discipline
totally
there. Trapped
imagine
in the corner.
I can totally imagine Little Flap saying, "I don't need Nano. I don't need Nano. I just swing my hammer." I can totally see him calling for the Ana not to fret.
That's very good discipline. Nice calls too, knowing that he could live through it. So love to see it.
Absolutely.
Able to save Nano for another day, another fight, and now we have a
Ooh, that's a
shatter.
dead Reinhardt if I've ever seen one.
That is
Goodbye.
incredible capitalization. Nothing to block the shatters. Bob does come in, but Bob gets
does
melted.
not get value. Uh-oh.
And Bob got melted. Going for the pin. There it is. Ooh. He was so close to
long-range
running
pin.
out of gas.
That Ashe was running for her life, and she didn't run quite fast enough.
That Ashe, Little Flaps was so close to running out of gas there, but blocks the shatter and the high noon. Incredible barrier. This might actually go all the way into the final point. Talking about how unlikely it is. Incredible capitalization. It's just the Ana.
And there's
And the
no more
Ana
Ana.
is down. Go take space. Come on, guys. You got to stop him.
Oh, yeah. The whole time I was saying
Scoot is.
unfortunate, I meant for the opponents. That's all I have to say. There's the Maywall to keep him out. And it's like,
incredible Maywall. That's the entire game. Screw going the time. They're pushing it all the way into the end, ending the game early, taking it 3-1 over Red Wolves. Incredible showing. That was really, really impressive to see.
You really do love to see it. Let's see what Little Flaps has to offer here. Beautiful grouping, beautiful shatter. This is not Little Flaps. I'm so
It is
sorry.
not Little Flaps,
But still, beautiful
it's still
grouping,
very,
beautiful shatter.
still very, very good to see. And honestly, I know that was what the game said was play of the game, but I would like to highlight that Little Flaps got a barrier to block both the shatter and the high noon coming out right at the end. So although it didn't get the play of the game by game standards, I would really like to highlight that.
Absolutely.
It was an incredible play.
Incredible. Like I would be the one that would fall for that. Like he knew what he was doing. He got it done. It was beautiful. It was incredible. I'm gonna have to give this kind of game to Little Flaps for kind of like the MVP of the match, but
Yeah.
also the Red Wolves. We cannot discredit them. They put up a fight the
Exactly.
whole time. They both took it super far. It was incredible to see. I love to see the
I
growth
mean-
from both teams. It was beautiful.
I mean, Red Wolves did even get a map, so if that shows anything, it shows that this was not an easy fight. So, I mean, even though Beacon did win, it definitely was not the easiest thing in the world. They did lose a map and they had to fight very hard for it, but showing that they did have the capability to fight that hard and showed off some incredible plays throughout. So, very, very nicely played.
Absolutely incredible. You love to see it.
Mhm.
So we're going to check out, but I'm Jang,
I'm Cheetah Quick 9 or CQ9.
and we're super glad to have you guys on the stream. Take care.
See you guys later.